From KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on your Saturday. It's September 13th. Shelby is in for Sarah. Hey, we have some exciting news out of Ingram. Our Devin Karp is there.
Yes.
They're doing mattress giveaways with the one and only
Mattress Mac.
Mattress Mac. It was kind of like, starstruck moment when Devin interviewed him earlier. So really exciting stuff. We have a fun show for you. Warm weather, though.
Yes, he definitely texted me saying he was very excited to meet him and that it was a little chilly, especially up in Kerrville.
Up in Kerrville.
And in Ingram.
Not here.
Not necessarily in San Antonio. I mean, take a look at our current temperatures. We're still waking up with temperatures in the 70s. 76 now in San Antonio, according to the airport. But not only that, we're still feeling a little muggier too. So not necessarily are we seeing it feel a little cooler. We're still having it a little muggy, a little sticky. So I might not necessarily feel as cool. But the hill country, they're still sitting in the 60s, 66 degrees in Kerrville, 69 up in Fredericksburg, already 80 degrees down near the coast, 81 in Corpus Christi. And throughout the next few hours, we're going to continue to see our temperatures increase, already near 90 degrees by lunchtime. And we're going to continue to see the mostly clear skies throughout the rest of the afternoon. Although we're still seeing a little bit of that cloud coverage this morning, I'm expecting that to continue to diminish just within the next few hours. And that's going to allow our temperatures for most of us to be in those 90s. We're going to get that daytime heating. The sun rays really go down on the earth. And as we see that concrete, that allows us to see our temperatures warm up a little warmer than some folks in the hill country, which is why Rock Springs is going to only be about 86 degrees later today, 90 up in Fredericksburg, 97 down towards Cotulla. Now, although our temperatures are going to be warm today, it's going to continue to be that Groundhog's Day and just copy paste over the next week or so, because that big blue H, that heat high, that area of high pressure is going to continue to any rain that we see just to the west, have that push over it. Really just giving us a little bit of a quiet weather pattern. But although we're quiet, the tropics aren't necessarily. They're already starting to become a little more active, and we could see some sort of moisture from tropical storm Mario make its way to San Antonio. I'll talk about what you can expect for the Pacific and the Atlantic coming up in just a bit.
Shelby, thank you. This morning, a man is in the hospital after he was shot at an unknown location. San Antonio police say the man was shot, then drove to the Chevron on I-10 and East Houston Street for help. That's when he was taken to the hospital. He's expected to be okay. No word on what caused the shooting or if police have a suspect. Another man has died in the Bexar County Jail. So we're told it's this man on your screen, 34-year-old Ryan Postoke. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says he was found unresponsive in his cell early Friday morning. His cellmate said he was having a seizure. Medical staff tried to save him, but he didn't make it. Postoke was booked Thursday for driving while intoxicated and a vehicle crash. When he died, Postoke was in a special cell for people dealing with detox. In accordance with the Sandra Bland Act, police in Castle Hills will investigate his death. Per KSAT count, this is the second person who has died at the Bexar County Jail this month, and so far, there's been 10 this year. Well, parents are concerned about phone issues at Pearsall Junior High School. Not all phone calls are going through. Pearsall ISD went on Facebook Thursday and shared that its phone system was experiencing an outage. Right now, they only have 2 phone lines available for parents and the community, so communication is limited until the issue gets fixed.
We need the phones here. It's an emergency. We need it.
So parents are worried that the issue is putting kids in danger if there's an emergency. Keep in mind, there's a new state law banning students from using their cell phones during the school day that's now in effect. The school says it's working with AT&T to fix the issue. And school districts around San Antonio are working to follow a new law that went into effect September 1st. So it requires parents to give permission before schools can provide certain health services to students. Basic care like Band-Aids or checking a fever doesn't need parental consent, but does require a notification. Medical treatments and medications do need parental consent. Schools are notifying parents and asking for their consent, making sure kids get the care they need while keeping parents in the loop. If you have questions, you can reach out to the Texas Education Agency. Plus, we have a list of local school districts and their responses to the new law. Well, Texas mums are intricate flowers, glitter and ribbons, part of the homecoming tradition. The prices can also be pretty elaborate. So this morning, we're hearing from a Johnson High School choir mom who's learning how to be part of the tradition without spending too much.
I was like, what the heck is a mum?
As you can hear, Molly Springer is new to Texas. But with a sophomore at Johnson High School, she quickly learned about the big Texas traditions.
I was like, holy cow. I looked on the internet and these things can just blow up, and it's just crazy how big and how intricate everything is. It's just in so much detail. I decided to try and make one, and I ended up finding out that it was a lot more costly doing it on my own and a lot of time consuming.
Her daughter Kayla still isn't sure about them.
I am making the mini mum and it's got like a football on it and then stars and the little paws.
But as part of the Johnson High School Choir Booster, Springer is learning how to make mums and helping families keep the costs down. Some of the professionally made ones can cost in the hundreds of dollars. Parent volunteers have been making the mums for a few years as part of a fundraiser for the high school choir team. They expect to make about 300 mums, ranging from $5 to $65. Money goes back to support the needs of the 250 choir students.
What's the hardest part that you've discovered? Is there not really a hard part?
The glue. Oh my God. I burnt my fingers a few times, so.
Okay, the thing about how the mum sales are, the money is raised, goes right back to benefit the students in the school. They say there's an initial investment, but right now the Booster Club expected to make about $5,000 on mum sales alone. Wow, very cool. 9:07, 76 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA, a preview of today's Texas Eats episode. Plus, a way for you to win tickets to the Texas Food Fest. That's next weekend. We'll let you know in just a bit.
And taking a look outside with live cam, you're waking up, temperature still sitting in the 60s and 70s, but it's a little muggy. I'll talk about what's causing the humidity, not only today, but also for the next week and how it relates to the tropics coming up after the break.
This morning, David Elder is giving us a preview of everything seafood, including king crab, oysters, and seafood boils. Here's a preview of today's Texas Eats.
And look how beautiful this king crab is right there. Look at that. And look, I'm going to be a gentleman. I'm going to hand you. Look at that. We're going in. Toast, crab toast. I'm going to go back in because you got to get some. This is the SAT sauce you were talking about. All that extra seasoning. Cheers again. Cheers again. Boom. All right, here we go. The king crab. It's a little spicy. It is spicy. Yeah, it's a touch of spice. This is a very social, communal dish. It's here for a gathering. You bring the family, bring the friends. And in the front, you got oysters over here. These aren't just standard oysters, right?
No, those are our steamed oysters. They got garlic and butter.
We're going to put some lemon on top of these bad boys.
Showed me up there, yeah.
Here, get some lemon on yours.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
I got you. All right, cheers.
Wow, you know, a lot of flavor.
That's a ton of flavor.
King crab, but someone does all of the, where they get the meat out for you and the nice big dip there. Chef's kiss. Okay, don't miss the premiere of the new season of Texas Eats. It's today, right after GMSA at 10 a.m., so don't go anywhere. But for now, it's 9:12 and 76 degrees. After a tough summer and heartbreaking loss, two Hill Country school communities united last night. Ingram took on Comfort in a football game. Stay with us for that final score and why this game meant so much to everyone involved. Football isn't just a game in the Hill Country for two teams in the area who were rocked by the deadly floods on July 4th. Last night's regional matchup is about the entire community, with Ingram and Comfort High Schools facing off. Zaria Oates tells us how people were feeling out there and why it was so important for so much of the community to show up.
So it was super important for me to come and support my team.
It's comfort. They're our biggest rivals. It's the I-10 game. I'm excited.
An exciting game that this year is about more than just football.
We're struggling. We're coming back from a lot this summer.
A deadly flood swept through the hill country, taking the lives of more than 100 people, including dozens of children at a summer camp. Since then, the people of Ingram, Comfort, Hunt, Kerrville, and so many other areas in the hill country have been working hard to rebuild. Why is it so important right now for you guys to be out here as a community?
Everything that we've walked through during the summer has been so hard for everyone, and it has been a very difficult summer that was full of hardships and trauma, and we're ready to be together again and do fun things.
The most exciting part about being here is seeing everybody just in a good mood, and even though we're going through a hard time, just like supporting us, like each other as a community.
The teams, the parents, everybody, it's just been great.
What are you most excited about with this game?
Watching the football players.
Who do you think is going to win?
Ingram better win.
The little girl, so precious. All right, so Comfort won the football game on the Ingram football field. It was a close score, 47-35, but fans left with their hearts full after a night with neighbors, friends, and family. Thank you, Zaria. And this morning, hundreds of families affected by the floods in the hill country will be sleeping better tonight, literally. Our Devin Karp is also live out in Ingram for Mattress Max giveaway. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, good morning, Sarah. It is great out here. The sun is shining. There are hundreds of mattresses being given away behind me, but it can't be done without some help from a lot of volunteers, including these guys. All right, so you guys, where are y'all coming from again?
Fredericksburg.
Fredericksburg. All right, what are your names?
I'm Harry.
I'm Levi.
Amos.
All right, so you guys have been helping out. What does it look like when you go with the mattresses? You're picking them up, putting them on trucks, right?
Yes, sir. So it's just been great to have the experience to hand out all these mattresses for people that have been affected terribly by the flood. And we load them up on the back, on the top or on the back of trailers. And then we get ropes and then we tie them down, obviously, so they don't fly off.
Yeah, probably helpful for that, huh? Yeah. So how many trucks have you guys seen go by already? I mean, it's what?
Probably
At least more than 100.
More than 100,
No
yes,
kidding.
sir. Yes, sir.
So how does it feel to help out so many people when it's going? I mean, even though the mattresses aren't coming out of y'all's pocket, it still takes people to put them on the trucks and get them out.
Yes, sir.
It just feels good to help out because we know what these people have been through and what they need and what their families need. It just feels good to help out people.
Awesome. You guys getting a workout in, lifting all the mattresses too?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. Thank you, guys. Give me 5. Nice. Awesome. Thank you guys for the good work. Appreciate it. So there are still going to be mattresses out here till about 11 a.m. or if they run out, because there is already a pretty big line, if you guys have seen. We're going to be out here for the rest of the morning speaking with some of the volunteers and having a full story coming up tonight on KSAT.com. Later on with the Mattress Mac Houston legend. It's not often I get starstruck, by the way, when I do stories, but that was a pretty cool one. I'll send it back to you all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Very cool. I was starstruck just seeing him on screen earlier.
I know you and I both had our phones out taking pictures.
So proud of Devin interviewing Mattress Mac. It's so cool. He is a legend. He's known for all his philanthropy and how he just gives back. And I love that he's here in our community helping out those flood victims. It's such a cool story.
Especially because I know Devin and I are both from Houston, and Devin mentioned to Mattress Mac how he had the Hurricane Harvey connection, and so Mattress Mac really appreciated that. And it's just so nice to see people doing stuff for neighbors helping neighbors.
Right, and it started in the 60s there in Kerrville area this morning. Not the case here.
No, definitely not the case. But one thing that's kind of consistent is the humidity. We're waking up this morning feeling very humid. And sadly, the humidity is going to continue off and on throughout the next week or so. And the mornings are still going to be a little more humid than your evenings, but even then, on Tuesday and Friday, notice that the humidity and the dew point trend, we're expecting them to be right on the border. of muggy and pleasant? Well, that's because there's that chance we're getting some extra moisture. Not only that Gulf moisture, but also that potential for some tropical moisture. Not expecting what we saw last weekend by any means. We're not expecting any rain chances. But last weekend, we saw the remnants of what was Tropical Storm Lorena move through, giving us the rain on Saturday and even the rain that we saw on Sunday. But right now, most of the rain that we're seeing is up near New Mexico, just entering the Texas Panhandle. But those little wind those wind barbs that you see, that is all associated with what was the remnants of Tropical Storm Mario, now Tropical Depression, still off the coast of Mexico. But that's not the only thing. The Pacific and the Atlantic are both becoming very active. Even then, a 20 and now another 20% chance of development just issued over this morning in the Pacific from the National Hurricane Center, and that's just off the coast of Mexico. There's another one closer to Hawaii, and they've already gone through the M names, right? So we had A through M. Lorena was last week. Kiko went to areas of Hawaii, but in the Atlantic we had what was Tropical Storm Barry, gave us the remnants and the extra moisture that did help and cause part of the July 4th flooding. But not only to the G's. So if we do see another system in the Atlantic, it would be Gabrielle. And we're tracking another tropical wave just off the coast of Africa moving through. And that could potentially be that, but it's only a 50% chance. And even then, we're after the peak of hurricane season, so it's still something to watch. We're still in hurricane season through the end of November, and yes, we're still tracking that excess moisture moving through this week, but it's not a lot. We're only tracking about a 10% chance of some showers if, and that's a big if, we see anything for areas across South Central Texas, but it's definitely going to be feeling a little muggy, especially Sarah, in the mornings, especially when it's a little on the cooler side in the 60s, so might not necessarily be fall iced coffee weather yet.
Okay, so typically South Texas, we get our first true cool front when? October-ish?
End of September. I'll talk, and this is a little tease. I'll talk about it next.
I am very much looking forward to that and that cool front. Thank you, Shelby. 9:23, 76 degrees. We'll be right back. If you're looking for something to do on Sunday, you can visit the San Antonio Zoo for just $8. The only requirement is that you have to be a Bexar County resident. You just have to bring proof of your address, that zoo. The zoo is going to open from 9 to 5 on Sunday. We are well into the month of September, and now is your chance to nominate your favorite educator at your school or your child's school for KSAT's Educator of the Month Award. To enter, just scan this QR code on your screen, or you can go to our website, ksat.com, and search Educator of the Month. This is a wonderful opportunity to shine a spotlight on the people who do so much for our students and our community. It's 9:27, 76 degrees. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning. It's 9:30 on this Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us. It's September 13th. It's a big day out in the hill country. Mattress Mac is out there giving out mattresses to those in Ingram who are impacted by the hill country floods. Our Devin Karp is live out there. We're going to check in with him in just a little bit. But first, we're going to check in with Shelby. Shelby, it's just warm. It's copy and paste forecast for the next 7 days.
It is, and I mean, it's now fall, so a lot of people, especially you, Sarah, you've been asking all morning, when are we getting our first front? Now, traditionally, we do get our first front coming up in the month of September, but we can see it from August all the way through November. Now, today, some folks were waking up in the 60s. This is the preliminary report of how low some people got this morning. 62 degrees up in Fredericksburg for your low temperature this morning, 63 in Kerrville. San Antonio preliminary reports show that we did get to about 71. But as we go throughout the day, I wouldn't be surprised if the airport comes out with the actual temperature being about 69 to about 72 degrees. That's traditionally where we've been over the last few days or even the last week or so with our morning report. And later today, we're going to continue to see the temperatures increase. Now, some folks that were waking up a little cooler this morning might not necessarily get to the 90s, right? So areas near the hill country, near Rock Springs, might get to those 80s, 86 in Rock Springs later today, 88 in Ozona. But San Antonio, once again, we're seeing temperatures 94 degrees later today, 90 degrees down in Corpus near the coastal plains. And traditionally, we see our latest 100-degree day in the end of September. The latest 100-degree day was September 28th in 2005. This dates back to when we started keeping records back in 1885. But we do have a few more temperatures that we are getting into those 90s, but not necessarily into the triple digits anytime soon. And even then, traditionally, we start to see our first front start about September, mid-September. I'll break down when you traditionally see that first front. Plus, take a look at what's causing the weather for the rest of the country coming up in just a bit, Sarah.
Shelby, thank you. Here's a chance to make a real difference this month. KSAT Community is teaming up with the San Antonio Food Bank for Hunger Action Month, a time to fight hunger together. The San Antonio Food Bank feeds over 100,000 people every week, and they can't do it alone. So together, we can nourish in numbers. One easy way to give back is by dropping off items from the food bank's 12 most wanted list. You can do this at any of those locations you're seeing on your screen. There are BFCU branches that are participating throughout September. To find the full list of locations and the items they need most, just head to ksatcommunity.com. Donating food, giving money, or volunteering your time, or simply spreading the word helps ensure that no one in our community has to choose between foods and other basic needs. And this morning, hundreds of families affected by the floods in the Hill Country will be sleeping better tonight, literally. Devin Karp joins us live now from Ingram for mattresses being given away from a Houston legend. Good morning, Devin.
Hey, good morning, Sarah. These mattresses are going fast. There's still a lot left, but it is really great to see all the help that has come out here to the Hill Country. We're right over here at City West Church in Ingram. This is where a lot of volunteer operations have been, and today is no different. But what good's a mattress if you don't have anything to sleep with it? I'm here with Diana this morning. Good morning. How's it going?
It's going great. We're doing a good job today.
Okay, so tell me about the quilts that y'all have been at this for a while, huh?
Absolutely. Ever since the flood, we've had people contact our guild wanting to know if they can donate quilts to the flood victims and the first responders. And we said, sure, just send them our way. And so we've already got about 600 and some quilts. And we brought about 300 today to give away. So it's our pleasure, all these people from all over the country, really. Wow. And all over Texas.
That's fantastic.
And individuals, yep.
Yeah, I mean, okay, can we show it off? Because I want to say that looks really nice. Looks like made with a lot of love, too, huh?
Absolutely. And so we let everybody know who's actually donating the quilt. This is the Red River Quilt Guild up in Wichita Falls. And they all send them with prayers and love. They want the people here to know that everybody out there is thinking of them and want things to get better for them. So that's what we're doing.
There's a lot of help here, like from people here, Fredericksburg, Houston coming up. But with all these quilts, you said they're coming in around the country, right?
They are, yes. We have them from Louisiana, Washington State, California, Iowa. It's amazing. They just keep calling me. Can we send you quilts? I say, yes. Send us quilts. We'll take them. Last
question. Do you feel like extra warm and cozy when you're wrapped up in one of these? You have to, right?
You have to, and I think you really feel the love that it was made with and distributed with. That's our goal, is to make people feel better.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being out here this morning, Dinah. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Awesome. All right. If you guys still want to come out here and you're in the Hill Country, you have one of the zip codes that is qualifying for a mattress, there's still plenty out here. They're going to be out here till about 11 a.m. or until stock runs out over here in City West. For now, I'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Everyone wins there. Thank you, Devin. And a reminder for people still looking for financial assistance from the Hill Country floods. The apply time is September 28th. That means those who live in qualifying counties can submit damages and make claims to FEMA. We have a link on our website where you can apply on KSAT.com. Well, this morning, investigators are still working to figure out what caused the shooting on the east side and who fired the shots that left one man dead and another injured. San Antonio police were close by when they heard that gunfire. When they arrived, They found a 21-year-old man shot in the leg and a 23-year-old shot in the abdomen. Both were rushed to the hospital, but that victim later died. Police have ruled his death a homicide. And now to a dog attack on the far west side. Bexar County Sheriff's Office tells us that an Amazon delivery driver was attacked on the job yesterday morning on West Montgomery near Cinco de Mayo Drive. Deputies say an Australian cattle dog bit the driver, who suffered 2 small puncture wounds but is expected to be okay. Preliminary reports confirm the dog is properly vaccinated but will be in quarantine for the next 10 days as a precaution. By KSAT's count, this is the 4th dog attack in the last 14 days. 3 of the 4 involved a delivery driver. It's 9:37, 76 degrees. You know someone who needs help getting around. Well, learn how you can give the gift of mobility with Project Mend and make a real difference in our community. Plus, a new Texas law aimed at helping incarcerated veterans is now in effect, how it hopes to help them get on the right track.
Taking a look outside with live cam, we're sitting at about 76 degrees in San Antonio. Still seeing that cloud coverage and mugginess, but we're going to continue to warm up and not necessarily be on the cooler side like we are in fall. I'll talk about when we see our first front coming up after the break.
Project Mend is stepping up to help folks who need medical mobility equipment, and you can be part of it. Join KSAT Community on September 18th for the televised phone bank. Give the gift of mobility. Your donations will go straight to Project Mend to buy much-needed medical mobility items like wheelchairs and walkers. And if you have gently used medical equipment to share, the second mobility collection drive of 2025 is happening on September 20th. Just drop off your items at the Wonderland of Americas or the Shriners Auditorium. Everything donated will be carefully refurbished and sanitized to meet state and healthy safety standards before it goes to someone who really needs it. It's a simple way to make a big difference in our community. Well, there's a new state law aimed at helping incarcerated veterans. Senate Bill 2938 went into effect last week. So now, every time someone who goes into a county jail, sheriffs must verify whether that person also served in the military. Our Stephania Jimenez tells us how the law is working at the Bexar County Jail and how it can help veterans there get back on their right track.
There's a lot of vets, like, I got little problems, conditions, but there's a lot of them out there so lost that they don't know how to get back.
Do you think that you were dealing with mental issues?
Oh yeah, I got mental issues too, but I'm coping with it.
That's Morris Austin. He's 66, a veteran.
I served in the military from 78 to 81.
And recently spent months at the Bexar County Jail for a drug charge. Now that Morris is out, he wants to stay out and build a new life. Luckily, he has the essentials, food and a place to stay. He's also getting help through the Bexar County Military and Veterans Service Center.
We offer employment services that can assist. We have a peer support and a financial assistance program.
Keith Wilson is the executive director of the Veterans Service Center. The goal of the agency is to help all veterans, including those who are in jail. And that's where SB 2938 comes in. It went into effect September 1st and requires Texas jails to verify the veteran status of inmates when they come into the jail. Before, that process was inconsistent.
We're not starting from zero.
We spoke with Sheriff Javier Salazar about how he's implementing SB 2938.
We have a system in place that will identify someone as a veteran, even in the event that they check no.
That verification is supposed to make it easier to connect veterans with services from the moment they get to the jail.
What we want to do is show them a road that's hopefully going to prevent them from coming back.
That's why Sheriff Salazar supports the new law.
We owe it to our veterans to take care of them. I'm a firm believer that not everybody in the jail is, quote unquote, a dangerous person. Many times people wind up in jail for circumstances well beyond their control.
Back to Morris, he was out of jail before the law went into effect, but he's optimistic about what it could do for veterans in jail. He just hopes they get the help they need.
Just try to maintain, and when you get out, try to find your support group, get your support group.
That was Stephanie Jimenez reporting. Thank you so much, Stephania. All right, 76 degrees before 10 a.m. this morning, Shelby. That's cool for San Antonio, but we do have some humidity.
Yes, we're still seeing that humidity, and you've been asking all morning when our first fall cool front comes through.
As I'm tapping my foot.
Our average first cool front is September 24th. In 2019, we had our first cool front come in October on the 7th. Now, traditionally, not everyone sees the effects of the cool front, but September, we, as you can see, going from 2017, 2014, 2016, and even in 2020 to 21 and 22, most of our first cool fronts arrive in September. In October, we only have about 3 of them, traditionally in climatology speaking, come in the month of October, which is why our average is around September 24th. And today, the date is the 13th. So in just a few weeks, traditionally, we would see our first cool front. Now, our first freeze is another story. That comes much later. With our first cool front, we see the temperatures cool down, talking 50s, maybe even 40s for some folks. But in order to see the temperatures freeze, we have to get to about 32 degrees. It happens in the hill country first, but for San Antonio, that light blue color, that normally doesn't happen until end of November, even beginning of December for some folks. The hill country sees their first freeze on average near November or even the end of October. And October is just a few weeks away. And today, definitely not feeling like fall. We're going to continue to see our temperatures increase to about 94 degrees as our peak temperature by about 4 p.m. Still seeing the stronger winds, though, gusting to about 20 miles an hour throughout the day today. So it's still going to feel a little warmer. And for some folks, that humidity is going to decrease in the afternoon, but not for everyone. We're still going to continue to feel the humidity throughout the next week or so, in the mornings especially. So you're definitely today, at least, going to feel a little hairdryer like feeling the warmer temperatures, not only in San Antonio, but across the country if you're traveling. 96 degrees expected for folks up in Omaha later today, Grand Forks, North Dakota, about 82 degrees in the Pacific Northwest. Seeing 74 degrees in areas of Seattle. And for portions of the country, that heat high that's sitting right over the Red River in Oklahoma and Texas has been bringing some warmer temperatures. But throughout the entire country, they're seeing warmer temperatures, 10 degrees warmer in Omaha and in St. Louis. But the Four Corners region and getting into areas of Southern California, they're actually sitting cooler today than what their average is. But that's going to continue to change, right? With Texas, we're normally continuing to see temperatures in the 90s, starting to get a few more 80s. But that heat high is giving us the above average temperatures, not only in Texas, not only in the Mississippi and the Ohio River Valley, but throughout most of the country over the next few weeks. And for us, what does that look like? Well, yes, we're above average, but our average is only about 91 degrees. So our temperatures going from 94 to 93 to even 95 later on in the week, that is considered to be above average. Yes, it's only a few degrees above average, but it's still considered above average. And even in our morning temperatures, we're waking up in the 70s, low 70s for San Antonio. But with that, the city is always a few degrees warmer than, let's say, the hill country. So they're expected to be a little cooler. And with that, the hill country can be waking up in the 60s. I know Devin was talking this morning about how chilly it was, and they were sitting at about 65 degrees for some folks today. And just know it's not going to stick around forever. Yes, with the humidity, but we are expecting a beautiful afternoon today. 94 degrees in San Antonio today, 93 tomorrow. And yes, it's going to be some humidity, but Sarah, it's Saturday. It's college football. It's going to be a great day to go out and watch them.
All right. Thank you, Shelby. I'm waiting for that first cool front.
I'll let you know when we see it.
All right. Thank you. All right. It's 9:51, 76 degrees. Thinking about buying a used car? We have some expert tips and exclusive data to help you find a reliable ride without breaking the bank. We're going to take a look outside with TransGuide. Looks like we get a stalled vehicle at Loop 410 and 10 interchange there. Not a lot of people out on the road this early Saturday morning. We're not seeing any major incidents or backups, but if we do, you'll be the first to know.
Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, getting the band back together on the big screen, the group's original album is getting an upgrade. A remastered version of the soundtrack to 1984's This Is Spinal Tap is out now on vinyl, CD, and on digital platforms. That's Paramore singer Hayley Williams and her new song, Parachute. The track comes from her just-released album, Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party. The set of 18 songs is out now digitally, with a physical release slated for November. Dropkick Murphys' Ken Casey sings about his late grandfather on Chesterfields and Aftershave. The new single is from the band's latest album, For the People. Released digitally over the summer, the album gets a physical release with 5 bonus tracks October 10th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
All right, Puerto Rican musician Bad Bunny explains why he's skipping the mainland U.S. on his concert tour. In an interview with ID Magazine, he said he's avoiding the U.S. out of fear that ICE might raid his concert venues. Bad Bunny has been openly critical of ICE operations, which have had increased under President Trump. He kicked off his tour with a 2-month residency in San Juan and told the magazine that fans from the U.S. can travel to Puerto Rico to catch his show. Later this fall, Bad Bunny will take his tour around the world with stops in Latin America, Europe, and Australia. And many Americans are losing confidence in the U.S. economy. A preliminary survey from the University of Michigan shows consumer sentiment fell about 3 points in August. Rising inflation and tariffs are the top concerns. For many, the survey also reveals a widening gap. Wealthier people are spending more freely, while lower household incomes are cutting back on expenses. And if you're thinking about buying a used car, you're not alone. With the cost of new cars staying high, it might seem like a smart move, but finding a ride that's both reliable and affordable can feel like a gamble. Our Katrina Weber has expert advice and exclusive data that empower you to shop smarter and choose a car that fits your needs and your budget.
With new cars averaging nearly $50,000, buyers like Ali are turning to used to avoid big loans.
I saved about $30,000 doing so. With that money, I got to put towards the vehicle, and I had money left over for other needs.
With about 2 million fewer new cars sold in 2021 compared to 2019, the used market today is tighter than usual.
When there aren't many cars available, but lots of people are looking, prices go up. It's supply and demand. So buyers need to be strategic in order to find that good deal.
Even when good used cars are hard to find, as Consumer Reports says, you can still get something safe, dependable, and fuel efficient.
Check the car's vehicle history, look at the model's reliability ratings. If you can, get an independent mechanic to check it out, and take it for a thorough test drive. Doing this up front can save you a lot of money and headaches later on.
Topping a recent CR list of best used cars to buy include the 2019 Toyota Corolla, 2018 Mazda CX-5, and 2019 Toyota Camry Hybrid. When it comes to paying for the new used car, be careful. The money you save can disappear in the fine print. Right now, the average interest rate on a used car loan, according to Experian, is around 12%.
Even small differences in interest rates can add up over time. So before you go to the dealership, check your credit score, get pre-approved for a loan, put down as much money as you can, and avoid those long-term loans.
To get the best deal, shop around, know the terms before signing, and carefully plan your budget. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Throughout the next week, we're going to continue to see, Sarah said it, that Groundhog Day effect with the weather. About a 10% chance of some sort of showers or moisture making its way towards the coastal plains on Tuesday through Friday, but not really expecting much for rain totals making its way to San Antonio, really, over the next week.
Hey, don't go anywhere, because Texas Eats, the very brand new season, starts right now with David Elder taking us some of the tastiest places to eat across San Antonio.